It is so windy today. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I hope that you can. But I went to do a reading. Of course, the only place that I can record is out here. And the weather is not on my side today, but that is okay. I wanted to look at the current energy, see what's going on, see if there's anything significant, important, relevant that you guys need to hear at this time, and hopefully it helps. Okay, so whenever you see this as when it should apply for you, could pick up on past, present, future energy or messages, of course, and it's general. So take what fits, leave the rest. You guys know your story best. Okay, let's pull some cards. Let's see what's going on. Give me 1 second. So you guys got the Ace of Swords. I'll show you here. Hopefully it focuses. There you go. Ace of Swords. There's this feeling of you claiming something, claiming or reclaiming. Because when I see, I don't know why, but what's catching my attention most in this card right now is how she or he or they or them, how this person is holding the sword, and it feels like they're clutching on like really tight, right? Like holding on for dear life. And so this isn't just about claiming or reclaiming something, it's about doing so with a strength, with a force, with a power that cannot be broken, with a power that is unshakable, that is unwavering. Now, the tight grip, too, I think it goes beyond just being really committed to a path or a truth or a decision. I think it has to do with some fear that could be attached to it as well. Because I don't know why I just heard like white knuckling, but probably because of the grip, obviously. But it made me think of fear, holding on to something really tightly out of fear, but it's not holding on to something that you shouldn't hold on to. It's just a mix. There's a mix of emotions, there's a mix of feelings when it comes to a decision, a choice, a path forward, a truth, a knowing. It's like I'm holding on to this, I'm not letting go. I'm not giving it to anybody else. This is mine, and that's it. Especially if you feel as though you are currently reclaiming something or have felt as though you've had to reclaim something, reclaim your truth, reclaim your voice, your identity, your power, your will, your path, your destiny, whatever it may be. You may even feel as though you've never really had much power in decision making when it comes to yourself. Like you've always fallen under other people's, I don't know why I just heard somebody else's bracket, or you've always fallen, I don't want to say victim, but victim to other people's decisions or choices or other people's circumstances or things like that. You may have felt as though you were just looped into things, or you never had the autonomy to really make your own choice or do what you wanted to do for yourself. Maybe you just felt swayed by other people and other things, or always put other people and things before yourself. And that could be why right now it's like, no, I'm doing this. I'm taking this back. This is mine, and I'm not going to let anybody get in the way. I dare you to cross me. I dare you to try and get in my way. There's a fierceness with this. Yeah, Queen of Wands. There she is. Queen of Wands, absolutely. So, this is the energy, the space that you guys are in right now. And the Queen of Wands is all about dominance, independence, confidence, free will, um, creation. So, it makes total sense why those two cards came through together, because you are appearing as a force to be reckoned with, right? You're rising to power. That's crazy. I just heard going from shame to fame. Now, whether that's literal fame or not, but it's like going from feeling ashamed, feeling powerless, feeling like you're trampled over, to being someone that is recognized, someone that is empowered. And it's not about other people's validation, right? It's not about external validation. It's not about um, getting permission from anybody else. This is about you feeling completely confident and self assured. And there's something about you being sovereign, feeling this sovereignty, feeling this yeah, this separation, this autonomy, this um a strong sense of individuality that is developing, or that you are reconnecting with, that you are redefining. Maybe you're redefining what it means to be you. Because I feel like you may have lived in other people's projections for a very long time, and you are expected to fulfill certain positions, certain roles, certain titles, or to not take things on, to be less, to minimize yourself. Absolutely, especially with you coming through as a Queen of Wands now, that can be really threatening and really intimidating to people. That now you're like not playing small, you're not cowering, you're not hiding away. No. Let's pull some more cards. So this is really interesting because you have the Queen of Cups that came out, and you have the Seven of Swords, which the Seven of Swords is crazy. See that giant camper that just went by? And it says transcend on it. That's crazy. Okay. That was crazy. So transcend. Eight of Swords. Okay, so people are confused. I don't know why I said people, but people are confused. The Queen of Cups with the Seven of Swords, and then I pulled the Eight of Swords. It feels like this feeling of being left in the dark and not being able to read or understand someone so easily. It's like you're unrecognizable, and this isn't a good way. People aren't able to gauge how you truly feel, what you truly think, what you know. I don't know, there's something about your presence. There's a very strong presence and this intuitive presence and knowing and grounding that is coming through. And the Seven of Swords is like not knowing your next move. That's what it is. Not knowing your next move, your next play. Um, you're not easy to read. And you're not just giving up your thoughts and your feelings so openly. You're not emotionally available, not in the way that you were before. And it doesn't mean that when I say you're not emotionally available, I don't mean that you're completely unavailable. I mean that you are more selective when it comes to who or what you emotionally invest in. And because you are turning more inward and focusing on yourself, that ties into your transcendence and rising up and out of something, an old way of being, an old way of thinking, an old way of living and existing and doing things, and transcending out of an old reality. It's crazy. The devil just flipped out. Um, yeah, and it said, as soon as the devil just flipped over across, it said, I need to charge my phone, which the devil can be draining, right? It could be draining. It could be toxic. It could be heavy. It could be unhealthy. It could talk about fears, anxieties, patterns, habits, people, situations that are just draining. So it's like the things that used to drain you before don't seem to be draining you now, but it's because you're emotionally withdrawn, you're tapped out, you're not an open channel to be siphoned from anymore. And that's exactly why, too, you're rising to power in the way that you are. And going from shame to fame, again, if we aren't focusing so much on fame as a literal thing, which again, it could be for some of you guys. This could talk about popularity, notoriety, gaining attention or traction within a certain field. But if we're talking about going from shame to fame, it's like you're moving away from feeding into the shame. The I just heard lies and mistruths. Shame, lies, manipulation, just heaviness, burdens that you've carried. Oh my God, do you guys see? Sorry, I'm just like all over the place. I don't know why, but that looks like a face to me. I was like, what? In the cloud. Anyways, I'm back. Sorry. I just get distracted by things. But you're not giving into those things anymore. And I feel like there are people that very much benefited from your shame, from your suffering, from your pain, from the lack of confidence or knowing when it comes to yourself. And now that you're detached from that, that you're not giving into that, or you're not allowing it to overtake you, overpower you anymore, and you're building more emotional security and stability within, you're rising in power. That is something that's going to radiate, and you're just going to continue to grow and expand in a way that other people haven't seen from you before. They know you're capable of it, but they didn't expect it to happen. Yeah, the Queen of Wands again. Here she is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and right behind it is the Five of Pentacles, right? Five of Pentacles, a Hierophant, and the Six of Wands, which feels like, again, there was a certain system, a certain unit, certain people, something structural that benefited from your shame, and maybe even that you were brought into, like structured shame, like being brought up into a family or in a work environment, or like there was some sort of conditioning, or structurally, again, there's certain foundations that are built off of shame, off of guilt, off of pain, off of manipulation, off of illusions, off of deception, off of gaslighting. Like, you guys know, if you come from a toxic environment, whether it be from your childhood, your upbringing, friendships, relationships, work related, whatever it is, scared me, whatever it is, these systems, they benefit from it. And it's like, that was before and this is now. Instead of saying in the Five of Pentacles and saying, this is what I am, it's like, this is where I came from. And it has nothing to do with my worth as a person, has nothing to do with who I am at this point in time. Like, you're not internalizing that anymore and saying, oh, I am the Five of Pentacles. I am, the abandoned. I am what's lacking. I am shame. I am lost. No, those may have been your circumstances. That may have been something that you experienced. You may have lived in that and internalized that at one point in time, but you're not embracing that and taking that on as your identity anymore. And that's not something that can be weaponized or used against you anymore to harm you and to keep you small and to keep you limited. Let's pull some more cards. All right, I want to see. Yeah, Magician. You're reclaiming your power. Reclaiming your power. You're the creator. You're creating an entirely different outcome. It's because you're shifting the way that you see yourself. When you shift your inner world, it's shifting everything in your outer world as well. Okay. You're no longer winding in this loop of this cyclical, toxic, unhealthy, harmful loop. It's over. It's done. It's completed. Yeah. The Eight of Swords is that feeling of being trapped, mentally imprisoned. The Two of Swords, no longer. It's a dead end. It's over. It's done. And the Two of Swords, yes, can talk about indecision, uncertainty, a lack of clarity, a lack of knowing. But for me, whenever I see the Two of Swords like that in relation to this, it makes me think of completion, closure. It's done, cut off, blocked. That's it, right? Oh my gosh. There's this, looks like a sparrow that is just sitting on top, like the very top. Oh my gosh. The wind is picking up. The wind did not come to play today. There's this little bird that's sitting on top of the pine tree at the very top, and it makes me think of you because people, again, maybe saw you as someone that was small, um, could be caged, could be controlled, more meek, more frail, somebody that wouldn't stand up, and now you're on top, like on top of the tree. So, and pine too, pine for me is all about protection, all about stability. It's like building a fortress. So yeah, not only are you coming through as more empowered and more confident, and as the creator, it's like now you are taking the wheel when it comes to your life. You're taking control. You're not just on the sideline. You're not playing a role in somebody else's story. Like, you are the main character now, as you should be, right? Of your life, of your story. My God, the Queen of Wands, she keeps coming out. I don't even know why I put it back in the deck. Let's keep her out because this is you, Queen of Wands. reinvention, rejuvenation, renewal, rebirth, rising from the ashes, right? Yeah. As soon as I said that, death and rebirth. This is where you're at right now in life. This is the chapter, the cycle that you're in. And you guys may feel as though you regenerate a lot. You may feel like your life has been a constant stream of rebirths and regenerations. And honestly, I would say that's a beautiful thing because it means you're constantly changing and growing and evolving. But it can be a lot, you know? It can be a lot. Like, not to bring astrology into it as I do, but um I just like, for me, I like referencing astrology because I feel like it helps me make sense of certain experiences that I have had and like things that I feel are true to me in my life. So I have the sun and Pluto together. They might be conjunct, I don't know. Um, in the fourth house. Okay, rough. But having the sun and the Pluto together, I feel like I'm constantly undergoing some sort of transformation when it comes to my identity and like my sense of self and my beliefs and all of that. Like it's just, especially as a Sag, like it's just constantly, um, there's this constant involvement that is taking place, which I think is great again, but it also is something that can be so overwhelming because I feel like I never have a moment to just be. It's like camera is about to take off, but I have never felt as though I've had a moment to just rest and just be. It's like a constant change. So I think for you guys right now, this is a really, really, really big, pivotal turning point because you are rewriting your story, and not just your story, but you are completely rewriting and reframing your self concept and how you see everything from yourself to the world around you. Everything is changing. It's like a huge awakening, it's a huge breakthrough, and it's something that is extremely, extremely powerful. And it's a lot. So be easy on yourself because this is not easy. And you may feel challenged. You may feel as though you're facing more adversity, that there are people that may try to stop you, that may try to judge you, ridicule you. Again, use shame, intimidation, fear to suck you back into that old way of being in that old cycle. But I feel like you've already broken out of it. It doesn't mean you still may not feel certain feelings in those moments that it still may hurt, it still may be hard, it may be frustrating, it may be depleting, but each moment that passes, these things become weaker and you become stronger. And that's exactly why you may be facing the level of adversity or pressure or, I don't want to say interference, right? But like pushback as you are right now. It's because you're getting farther and farther away. So, with that, let's pull a few more and then we'll close out. Everything has been building up to this moment, and everything that you may feel has been a failure, or you may feel hasn't gone off the ground, or everything you've poured into and you feel as though you haven't seen the results you wanted to see when it comes to yourself. 2222 on the time. When it comes to other things you've tried to create outside of you, other things you've tried to build and put life into, it all has been building, it all has been accumulating. And just because something didn't pan out at the time that you'd wanted it to or in the way that you expected, it doesn't mean that the energy just went to nothing. It has been building up into this. That energy, it didn't go nowhere. It's been building, it's been accumulating, and it all has been leading to this expansion that is happening within you and that is going to be happening within your life. And the Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles is what you build and pour into over time. And it takes time to grow and develop. It's like a garden, right? You plant the seed, it doesn't sprout up immediately. It takes tending to, it takes time, it takes the right conditions. And sometimes things, again, they don't grow or pan out in the way that you expect, but it doesn't mean that it was a flop or a fail entirely. You know, the Nine of Pentacles is you as someone who is independent, self reliant, respected, admired, feeling the best that you've ever felt about yourself. You're having this glow up in life in all ways. And it's not just physical, it starts from within, but you're having this massive glow up across your life, within yourself, around yourself. And this is about you truly blossoming and allowing yourself to be seen, and again, receiving your flowers instead of feeling overlooked, ignored, and feeling as though you have to suppress yourself and stay small to keep other people comfortable. If they feel threatened by you, then that's on them. That's not on you. You don't need to bend and mold and break to make other people comfortable and then harm yourself in the process and be uncomfortable and live a life that feels unsettling, which you may have done for a really long time. If they're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable, and that's something that they have to face and deal with within themselves. If they're envious, if they're jealous, if they're hurt, if they're frustrated, so be it. You know, we all go through different things. We all have feelings. We all have, like we all have our moments where we feel things we may not want to feel. If I have a certain feeling when it comes to another person, if I feel triggered, am I going to go to that person and blame them and expect them to cower and be small to make me feel comfortable? Absolutely not. That is something I have to face within myself and figure out. Why am I triggered? Why am I upset? Why do I feel threatened? How can I channel this into something productive? Not like, oh my gosh, I need to stop this person. They need to do X, Y, and Z to make me feel good. No, no, they don't. They don't have to do anything. It's their life. I'm responsible for my life, you know? So it's the same for you. Instead of focusing on what everybody else wants when it comes to you, this is about focusing on what you want for yourself. And if they're unhappy, if they're frustrated, if they don't like it, that's on them. And it speaks more about them than it does about you. Okay?